So I guess this girl just got completely rejected after this date, who a guy seemed like he was into her first off, then afterwards, I guess lost interest pretty quick.
I wasn't even that attracted to him. I wasn't, but I gave him my number anyway. On Saturday, guess what? It's Monday. Guess what I can't stop thinking about?
Rejected.
I wasn't even that fucking attracted to him. I'm not even sad. I'm just upset. I'm like, how dare you look at me? How dare you? Look at me.
And this is actually
Ever wondered why someone would give you their number, then act uninterested, only to get upset when you don't initiate contact? Quite the paradox, isn't it? It's like a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. A woman hands out her digits, shows no sign of attraction, yet goes ballistic when you don't reach out. It stirs up a whirlpool of confusion, doesn't it? Is it simply a play for attention or a bid to boost a bruised ego? Let's delve into this intriguing scenario and try to make sense of it. Meet our central character, a woman who many would rate as below average in physical attractiveness. An ordinary woman in her 20s, she has a certain charm that's neither striking nor remarkable. In her mind, her average looks are transformed into stunning beauty. She sees herself as a 10 out of 10, a knockout, a head-turner. She believes she's the woman every man desires and every woman envies. Despite her average looks, she holds herself in high regard and expects others to do the same. One day, this woman encounters a man and decides to give him her number. Now, this wasn't just any man, he was a regular guy, the kind you might pass on the street without giving a second glance. There was nothing extraordinary about him, but for some reason she felt compelled to give him her digits. Now here's the twist. She wasn't attracted to him, not in the least. She told her friends as much, even laughed about it. Yet she couldn't resist the allure of giving him her number. It was a game to her, a thrilling chase where she was both the hunter and the hunted. Despite her claims of not being attracted to him, she had given him her number. Not because she wanted a relationship with him, no, she wanted something else. She wanted his attention, his validation. She wanted to feel desired, even if she didn't desire him in return. It was a strange and twisted game, but to her, it was exhilarating. And so she left him with her number, expecting him to make the first move, to initiate a text or a call. She didn't want him, but she wanted him to want her. And with that, the stage is set for a confusing series of events. Surprisingly, the man doesn't make the first move. Now isn't that something? In our story, our leading man doesn't initiate contact, contrary to what our lady expects. This isn't your typical Hollywood romance, but rather a real-life scenario playing out in the digital age. Let's explore the possible reasons for his lack of action. Now some might say the guy was just not into her, but is it really that simple? Perhaps he's the type who prefers actions over words. Maybe he's more interested in a meaningful connection than a fleeting encounter. On the other hand, it's also plausible that he's just not that into the game. He's seen through the smokescreen of the woman's supposed interest. He may have sensed her motives weren't as genuine as she made them out to be. After all, actions speak louder than words, and her actions were saying, "I'm not really attracted to you, but I want you to chase me anyway." What's more, the man could have been exercising his right to choose. Just because he's been given her number doesn't mean he's obligated to use it. Every individual has the right to decide who they want to engage with, and in this case, he chose not to engage. Could it be that he recognized the potential for an unhealthy dynamic? The woman wanted to have her cake and eat it too, to reject him and bolster her ego, all while he's expected to play along. But he chose not to. He rejected her without uttering a single word, and that's a power move in itself. This man's silence could be seen as a form of rejection, a subtle way of saying, "I'm not playing your game." He's chosen to step away from the potential drama and mind games, and that's something worth applauding. Now here's where things take an interesting turn. The man's inaction triggers a surprising reaction from the woman, but that's a story for the next scene. Stay tuned. The woman, contrary to her initial claims of disinterest, becomes upset. She's miffed, irked, and downright perturbed. Why? Because our unassuming guy didn't take the bait. He didn't send that text or make that call. Here's where things get a tad bit interesting, folks. You see, the woman had claimed she wasn't attracted to the guy. She'd given him her number, not with hopes of romantic dinners or long walks on the beach, but with a different agenda. Yet she's now fuming, outraged even because he didn't initiate contact. Ironic, isn't it? Let's dig a little deeper into this paradox. The woman, who isn't a supermodel by any stretch of the imagination, thought she was tossing the guy a bone. She saw herself as the prize, the sought-after damsel, And she expected the guy to jump at the chance to pursue her, but he didn't. He didn't play the game according to her rules, and that left her in a state of confusion. Her reaction reveals a glaring contradiction in her initial claims. If she wasn't interested in the guy, why would she care whether he reached out or not? If she saw their encounter as nothing more than a fleeting exchange, why is she so worked up over his non-initiation? Her outrage, my friends, isn't about the guy's lack of response, it's about her. It's about her need for attention and validation. It's about her inflated self-image and the blow to her ego when the guy didn't fawn over her as she'd anticipated. She wanted to reject him, to boost her self-esteem by turning him down, but he didn't give her that chance. He didn't feed into her ego-driven game, and that left her feeling, well, less than the hot commodity she'd imagined herself to be. It appears that what the woman wanted wasn't a relationship, but something else entirely. It wasn't about the guy, it wasn't about a potential romance. It was all about her and her need for validation, and when she didn't get it, she responded with outrage. In the end, it becomes clear that the woman was seeking validation and attention. As we delve deeper into the dynamics of this interaction, we start to see the woman's motives, painted in broad strokes of self-centered desires. Her actions exhibit a distinct pattern, one that's more about her self-affirmation than any genuine interest in the man. She handed her number over to him, not out of attraction but with a hidden agenda. She wanted him to reach out, to initiate contact, but why? Was it because she had a change of heart? No. It was because she wanted to be the one to reject him. Imagine that. She wanted to be the one to say no, to dismiss him, to hold the reins of power, if only for a moment. That rejection, she believed, would affirm her desirability, her worth. It would feed her ego, giving her a sense of superiority, a rush of control. It was not about the man, not really. It was about her need for validation, for attention. But here's the twist. The man didn't play the game by her rules. He didn't reach out, didn't give her the chance to reject him. He unknowingly rejected her without uttering a single word. And that, my friends, stung. Because it wasn't just about rejection. It was about attention, the spotlight, the validation she so desperately sought, and the absence of it left her bewildered and outraged. In her mind, she was the leading lady, the belle of the ball. She had built this image of herself, this illusion of grandeur. But reality, as it often does, had a different story to tell. The man's silence shattered her illusion, forcing her to confront a reality she wasn't ready to acknowledge. In her pursuit of validation, the woman's perception of herself was far from reality. Her need for attention and validation, her desire to reject and bolster her ego, ultimately revealed a distorted self-perception, a facade that crumbled under the weight of reality. So, what can we make of this perplexing scenario? The tale we've unraveled today highlights the woman's chase for validation, masked by a number exchange. She craved the thrill of rejection, the ego-bolstering moment, only to be met with silence. The man, becoming an unexpected hero, rejected her without uttering a word, disrupting her narrative. In the grand scheme of things, it's a stark reminder that sometimes what seems like a simple act of giving a number can reveal much more about our desires and perceptions.